Hello, boys and girls. Today we are going to be making some flowers based on an artist named Lisa Congdon. Lisa Congdon is an illustrator, which is a person who makes drawings for books, a fine artist, and a writer. Her story is unique because she never planned to become an artist or even thought she was very creative. She worked as a public school teacher for 15 years before she started taking art classes and changed her career. You might notice the bold colors, flowing lines, and general sense of happiness that you feel when you look at her work. We are going to be creating a collection of whimsical flowers with very simple materials, and we're going to be focusing on shape and line to create these amazing results. Let's get started. For this project, you are going to need some colored pieces of paper. If you don't have colored paper, try using newspaper or wrapping paper, or maybe take last year's folder and use that for patterns. So be creative, use what you have. If you don't have that, white paper works as well. Then you're going to need a blank sheet of white paper. That's going to be our background, our base. I want you to go around your house and find circles, things that you have that you can use to trace different patterns on your paper. Okay, so we're looking for different sized circles. Then we're going to need a black and a white crayon, some glue, scissors, and a pencil. So, taking a couple colors of paper, you're going to start tracing some circles onto your colored paper. Okay, once you've got some circles, and you can make as many or as few as you want, you're going to take your scissors and you're going to start cutting them out. Start cutting all your circles. Now, this might take a while. We want to go nice and slow. Just cut out your circles. All right, I have all my circles here. Now we are going to turn these into the main flowers of our piece. So with your white piece of paper, you're going to start laying out and planning what you want your finished piece to look like. So do you want a lot of big circles or do you want some small circles? Think about filling your page with lots of variety. I think I'm going to switch this out. I want something like that. Next, I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to start gluing each circle down on the paper. Now, the important thing when we glue, this is what's going to make your glue stick last the longest, is when we glue, all we need to do is go around the edge of our circle and then stick it down and press, press, press. Okay? If we add too much glue, it's going to get messy. See, like that one, I was pressing too hard, so I got to spread that glue out. I just need to go around the middle. or around the outside. I don't need any glue in the middle. If I add glue in the middle, it's gonna be either too wet or it's gonna use up my glue too fast. I don't need that. So I wanna be careful with my glue and only add a little bit. When they're all glued down, flip them over and give them a nice rub on the back, like you're massaging your paper. Okay, now we are gonna work on the centers of our flowers, and for this you're gonna need your white and your black crayon. And what we're gonna do is we are going to work on our radial lines. Radial means it starts in the center and it goes all the way around evenly, like a pattern. So I'm gonna start adding lines that start at the edge of my flower and move into the middle. Just like this. All my lines are facing the middle. Then I'm going to add dots to the middle of my flower. Right like that. Now you can do lots of lines or just a couple. You can do it in white or black, right? Depends on which circle you're doing. If I have a black circle, it doesn't make sense to do black lines. So you can switch off. You're just going to go around and add your dots. Okay, once you've got your lines in your circle, we're now going to add the rest of our design, which is the rest of our flowers. We want these to look like flowers. So using your black, you're going to start adding some stems to your flowers. Okay. Once you've added your stems, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some leaves. So I add leaves by doing a big loop line. And we want to think about filling in our space. So wherever you see a lot of empty space, that's where you can start to add leaves. And you can add all sorts of different leaves. I'm going to show you different ones here. You do what you like best. Last thing to finish our design, we're going to take our crayons and filling in these empty spaces, right? See how there's all these empty spaces? We're going to take our crayons and we're going to just practice putting little tiny dots all over to fill in that negative space. The negative space is where there's nothing happening in our drawing. So right now, I'm going to take my crayon and I'm just going to add little tiny dots, kind of like confetti, all over my picture. It's a way to fill my space. When you think you've added enough, add more. When you've added all the dots to your heart's content, you're done. There you have it, boys and girls. Flowers inspired by the illustrator Lisa Congdon. Bye-bye.